Hello everyone, and welcome to the IdeaHub tour. I am Edwin Diender, I'm Chief Digital Transformation Officer in our Enterprise Business Group. And yes, you've already seen me in the IdeaHub introduction and unboxing videos. And yes, I am a big fan of the IdeaHub family of products. But today, I want to talk to you about a story that goes a little bit beyond the product. And I have the honor of having invited a heavyweight guest and also a very old friend of mine, the Vice President of Intelligent Vision and Collaboration Sales, Yong. Pleasure to see you again.
Me too, nice to meet you here.
Likewise, how's it going?
Actually, everything is great. It's especially for the amazing product, IdeaHub. I have a lot of story to share today.
Well, I'm very excited to hear that, and I'm excited you're here because we have so many things to share. What do you have to share and how are you going to share it?
Yeah, everything I bring it in this phone. And first, I will link this phone to this IdeaHub. We just use the breakdown bar and use the wireless projection button and select the right IdeaHub. Then you see my screen.
And here is your screen.
Yes, shift to the big IdeaHub screen. And I can
And what am I looking at?
Yeah.
I remember this from the unboxing.
Great.
Flipping the screen from regular screen to full screen. What am I looking at?
Yeah, this actually is IdeaHub won the IF Design Award. You can see IdeaHub design is very simple and elegant in everything you can think of.
For sure, for sure. You know, good design is not only beautiful, but it's also very practical. But if I remember correctly, the IdeaHub board also won, and not just the board, but the whole family of products, a Red Dot Design Award, but also an industry collaboration award from a market research organization. That is amazing.
Definitely. The winner is not the purpose for us. However, it shows that we really care about user experience, and that awards are the market proof of that. One thing I would like to mention is the backside of the IdeaHub, which is extremely artistic but also practical. We have seen many competitors' products which look neat in front side, but really very messy at the back, with lots of wires and cables hanging and screws still out. I'm very sorry for that.
Well, I can imagine those, you know, we all remember that. Maybe even you have some of these systems in your office right now with cables hanging out and screws sticking out. What I really think is very great is that the way we look at user experience is not just from the front and in the way to use it, but also at the back and in hiding things that just don't need to be in the visual of
Sure.
people to see, for sure. So I am very amazed by it.
Anyway, how do you think the IdeaHub, last time we shared that to you and put that in your office?
I cannot find enough words to thank you for letting me use it. Really, once I got it, I put it in my office, I immediately put it into production, I started using it. It really saves me a lot of hassle, really.
That's pleasure.
Yeah, and it's not just for me, I can tell you. It's also for colleagues, staff, other departments that are coming in. I almost feel like a librarian, almost in a library that has to keep track with a list. Who has my books? Where are my books? In my case, I got a list of who took my IdeaHub. Where is my IdeaHub? Where is my IdeaHub?
Great. Sure, I got your point. As you said, the product has brought a lot of change to us. In fact, the product is not only used by us and our company, it's also used in many meeting rooms, remote office, training center, and classrooms, and also open office area. You name it. I think the scenarios for this IdeaHub is nameless.
I would actually say so too. Maybe it's a good idea that we share some data and some details with our audience. For example, on our own internal organization. Just like everyone else in the world, also we as a company were of course affected and impacted by the pandemic when it kicked in. We employ more than 200,000 employees in more than 1,000 offices in more than 170 countries all over the world. And yes, like everyone else, we were also affected by the pandemic. Our offices in almost every country, of course, were closed, which means we were forced to work from home and that sort of things. But at some point, really, we could, of course, in some countries, return back to office. On the first day back to work, we have more than half of our employees still working from home. On the first day back in the office, around 40,000 meetings were held to ensure working efficiency and communication.
Unbelievable.
That is a tremendous amount of sessions on an internal network. But maybe also a third of our global workforce works in R&D
True.
and in innovation. This is coding work. You know,
True,
for
true.
this you need to be at the office because you're programming and these kind of things. Not what we did. We used our internal network with virtual desktop and virtual desktop cloud and what have you to safely and remotely access, to allow our R&D employees to remotely access their R&D environment and even have them work from home where they could easily code and work anytime, anywhere on any device. And currently, maybe in closing of this particular part, we are now in the process of almost having completely transformed and transposed from what we had, which were analog or very basic audio and video conferencing systems, or whiteboarding and flip overs and flip charts and what have you, to put that out of our offices and completely move into the family of products of, and the benefits predominantly of what IdeaHub and IdeaHub board is bringing to us as an organization.
I fully agree. Let's look at the second picture. Now this is my office. I want to share with you. In this right side, we use this IdeaHub for the remote conference, for the interview, for those relevant meetings. And for the left side, there are lots of companies, they are also interested in IdeaHub. So we use IdeaHub to remote demonstrate the IdeaHub. In summary, the IdeaHub is far more powerful than traditional way of meeting. Use project, flip chart, and whiteboards.
Though I can fully relate to what you're saying. It's exactly as Panya says. And also I use the IdeaHub in so many different ways, whether it is my department meetings or sessions with country teams and rep offices or providing remote trainings to our partners and our channels. IdeaHub is really very powerful. But right now we're talking maybe a bit too much internal and about the product, but how about market and global market? How is this product doing in the global market right now?
Very good question. In fact, IdeaHub has been favored and selected by many customers around the world, including Europe, the Middle East, Africa, Asia Pacific, Latin America, Russia, and China. In the context of the epidemic, remote communication and cooperation are key to teamwork among enterprises in all industries. In terms of industry distribution, customers in all industries basically need IdeaHubs. Here, let me share you one or two particular stories.
Oh, not just for me. I think our audience would also very much like to hear some cases.
Yeah, my pleasure. Then I would like to share the third picture. On the left side, there's a brilliant celebrity who used IdeaHub to broadcast the live directory into her different markets, such as the Middle East, China, etc. There are also a lot of other live broadcasters use IdeaHub to interact with fans. On right, you will see the snapshot of an event of Haidi Lao. Actually, that is a very famous hot pot restaurant in China.
Very
Hopefully
familiar.
you tried it before.
Oh, it's one of my favorites.
Last year, close to the Chinese Spring Festival, we helped this company to set up the restaurant to make the family to come together to enjoy dinner, even it's impossible to meet together in the real life because of this epidemic.
Crossing boundaries, even though we're far away, we're also so close, right? I think IdeaHub really shines in almost every industry.
Yes, after the introduction IdeaHub for so many customers, what kind of feedback and comments have you heard? Can you share something to us?
Well, everyone who chooses IdeaHub, of course, has their own ideas and also has their own requirement or demand on choosing it. So I don't think I can really be very specific in what each and every one are saying because there's so many, but I can give you some few ideas.
Please.
Well, you know, many customers and many enterprises from us choose to deploy IdeaHub in their office and in their meeting areas and in their boardrooms because from a design point of view, it really fits the design of their office and the design of their boardrooms. But also the fact that it has an all-in-one concept is truly and tremendously powerful and very critical in the choice process. There's a sense almost like as if other products or conventional products are a little outdated, not very high up in functionality. But today, you know, in the really new era, especially with design being just as important as usability, our customers just want to use a fashionable and easy to use product. And this thing is exactly what it is.
I fully agree. I feel the same way. I got a similar feedback from our customer.
You know, it's very simple actually from a technical point of view as well. Intelligent remote collaboration experience. automatic tracking and tracing of people moving in classrooms, for example, or children standing up and raising their hands to ask questions. Intelligent sound systems, intelligent writing recognition in 2 ways. You know, you can write in your regular handwriting on this screen, and if the handwriting, like in my case, is not so clear, it automatically transforms that into a system font, which is much easier to read, but it also feels like you're writing on paper. You know, as we've shown in the video earlier, there are so many reasons to choose this great product.
You're definitely right. By the way, I want to share another 4th picture. Have you seen the video of IdeaHub lighting up the tallest height building, Burj Khalifa in Dubai?
This video that went viral all over the internet and the social media channels? Yes, I've seen that, yes.
Great, great. This is the 4th picture I want to share.
There we have it, yes.
This picture, it is the IdeaHub lighting up the Burj Khalifa in Dubai. And this event is going to boost the global volume of IdeaHub and help spread it around the world and to let the world know that IdeaHub is coming.
I was so proud to see this actually. I thought it was great to see our product, my logo of the company that I'm so proud of, is visible, you know, on a landmark in this particular case.
Sure,
I also have to admit, I saw the video lots of times. I just can't, I can't stop watching it.
Yeah, that's true. That's very beautiful. Me too. You know, actually, IdeaHub is a master for smart office, but not just for the office, also in the classroom and in the school, in healthcare, for medical staff and doctor office. You know, there's a lot of practical use cases in the new every industry.
That's actually very correct. For example, in Poland, we've ended up with a fantastic partnership where students are provisioned with one of the most innovative solutions in the education industry. Of course, that's the IdeaHub. This cooperation is another joint initiative that is launched by the 2 sides to promote local scientific development in Poland following the launch in Poland of the Cybersecurity Management Research Project and on the Huawei side, the ICT Academy project. One of their professors actually said, and I quote, "We are excited to work with Huawei to explore and develop remote and integrated learning at a higher level, which is key and important as a part of our digital transformation planning." Now that is a very strong customer statement.
Yes, great, great.
Very strong.
IdeaHub and education are also the best partners. There's a similar story in Brazil. Here there's some customers. I will show the 4th picture. It should be the 5th pictures. Actually, this is the client of us. She is the principal of the school. Because of the epidemic, schools are closed and classes were suspended. Teachers could no longer teach face-to-face as usual. In order for classes to continue, all the teachers of the school had to sit in front of a computer at home and teach through a very small cameras.
Yeah, you know, this kind of way of working actually is an emergency way, right?
True.
It works, but it only works for so far. It cannot fully display the teaching ability, and it doesn't ignite students' passion for learning, let alone lead children to physical activities, for example, like gym and dance classes and so on. You know, the epidemic is actually really slowing down the development of our children.
Agree. So we brought IdeaHub into school classroom and provide a solution to build a smart distance learning bridge across the teachers and students, breaking the geographical barrier and effectively reduce the impact of the epidemic on student learning, teaching and research. And with rich interactive ability, remote teaching brings more diverse and rich experience and stimulates students' learning passion.
Very true, very true. You know, we really must pay attention, full attention to education, because it truly is a big deal. I often say that students are less than 20% of the world population, but of course we can all agree they are 100% of our future.
True. After this experience, we found that we have made a good improvement in education. Therefore, our product IdeaHub board, which is very suitable for education, was born.
Maybe I can add a bit to that about what's being born. You know, the IdeaHub board is not just for learning, it is also for health. IdeaHub board is different from previous software anti-blue technology that filters out blue light through software alone.
True.
Only by software, you know, the entire color system is removed and it causes the entire picture to change and to be yellow. But if you look at IdeaHub and IdeaHub board, we're using physical anti-blue light technology, which is optical anti-blue light. And it does not only protect the eyes of the student, it also has an ultimate guarantee for picture quality and the correct color.
You can see Edwin is a real top expert. Let me introduce IdeaHub families of the products. It was only 6 months after its launch last year. In March this year, we added IdeaHub board series. These two series are designed for different scenarios and meet different requirements. IdeaHub mainly meets the requirements of government and enterprise customers and help them to build a smart office to improve remote cooperation and efficiency in the way people work together and share information across teams and departments. IdeaHub Board, the second series, is mainly used for the education industry to bring a new smart education experience to teachers and students.
It's very, very great, and I'm so excited about it. You know, one of the key things that is important to understand is that the IdeaHub can meet not only our internal need, but also your communication need, from enterprise offices to education and beyond. In the context of the current pandemic, whether it is our daily work or our children's education, we as an organization at Huawei, we believe that digital technologies such as IdeaHub can help us through this difficult period and really lead us into a better tomorrow.
Definitely, tomorrow will certainly be better.
I believe that too. I believe that too. Well, we've been talking too long, I think, perhaps. Not enough time, perhaps, to involve our audience, but I suggest we do that.
Yeah.
There is a possibility for you to ask us questions right now. Not sure exactly how. I don't think that audio video will work properly, but I suggest that you put your questions in the message box or the chat box. We got a small camera here and a small screen here that we can retrieve, and we can see your questions, and we'll try our best to answer them.
Please.
Let's see. One of the first questions that comes in is, what is the difference between IdeaHub Board and the IdeaHub? In short, the IdeaHub is designed for smart office, while the IdeaHub Board is designed for smart education. The biggest difference in appearance is that IdeaHub has a built-in camera and the IdeaHub Board does not.
Yep.
So another question that comes in is, we've launched the IdeaHub Board for education industry. Will we also launch products for other industries?
Yeah, I also believe this kind of product will apply in all industry, but let's do it step by step. So currently, we focus on smart office and smart education, both industry first. But based on feedback and survey from market and customer, we'll continue to launch the scenario-based solution and products for the relevant industry in the coming days. So please look forward to this.
I suggest you watch us and you follow us on all social channels to be the first one to be aware of the launches of new products, right?
Surely.
We will be communicating this all over our social channel. Here's another question and a comment actually. The product is amazing. Well, we couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
It is an amazing product. Thank you very much for that. The question is, if I want to get one, where can I buy it?
Yeah, just as you mentioned previously, Huawei running our business in more than 170 countries. So in all those countries, we have a local representative office. So please just contact Huawei local representative office, or you just fill out the survey. We'll arrange the relevant sales manager to contact you.
Do we sell globally? Yes, we sell globally,
Sure.
Of course. By the way, if you have specific requirements, also in that particular case, something like localization or customization, don't hesitate to ask us and don't hesitate to contact us. I'm sure we have a lot of people that are able to give you ideas and ways forward in a partnership. Can I try before I buy? I think for our channel partners, this might be an interesting question. Because in some go-to-markets, there is a try and buy feature or a go-to-market. Do we have that as well?
Yeah, actually, we encourage our local team, those representative office, try to bring more demonstration, because I believe this kind of solution and product, we have to let our customers to try first, because we call it new style. Mm-hmm. It's a new creation maybe.
It's new style, smart office.
Yeah, that's true. So this reason, let people to have the experience is the most important step. So after that, I believe most people, just like Huawei ourselves, we like it so much. We could not live it anymore.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Another question relates to the education industry. For classrooms, is the IdeaHub board the only choice? And the second question is, it can protect children's eyes, which is great, but how about if I would like to have more integrated services, a stronger sound system, for example, and maybe even an all meeting with AI functions, and so on and so forth? I would say that this is a very customer centric, but also a customer dependent usage scenario. If, for example, teaching is the main focus, then we recommend using the IdeaHub board. And if there is the need for maybe some of the classes to be a master class from classroom number 1 and remote classrooms are joining that, then there's a lot of options where you can add additional microphones and additional cameras to the IdeaHub board. If this is a common way of working, so if one of your classrooms, for example, is tailored and catered only and solely for regular class meetings, regular classes, and remote classes, then you have a choice, of course, to replace or use, instead of the IdeaHub board, maybe also one or two, or mix and match IdeaHub board with the integrated smart office product which is called IdeaHub.
Great.
I think so too. That brings me a bit to the end of this session. There is always too much to say, and there is never enough time, right? There is never enough time. It doesn't mean that we won't answer the other questions. The other questions we will provide to you with answers in an other way than right now, live as we are. But for now, thank you for watching. Thank you for having joined us, and we look forward to seeing you either in face-to-face and in real life, or via the IdeaHub. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Edwin.
Pleasure.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.